at Walter's Gardens, the home of proven winner perennials. Also, many other great generic perennial varieties will be featured in these garden beds today. We're going to specifically look at perennials that are great for pollinators that are midsummer bloomers. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and I'm excited to show you what we're going to see today out in these trial gardens. There's a lot of gorgeous color behind me, and there's so much fun and excitement when I'm out in these gardens. I kind of feel like a squirrel going all around from one plant to the other. I'm just so excited to show you the various things. So let's go ahead, take a walk through the garden and see what's blooming today in July for the pollinators. Not everybody has full sun gardens, so let's take a look at some of the plants that are great for pollinators for the shady spaces. In front of us here is Astilbe, and Astilbe is a midsummer bloomer for shade to part shade gardens, although there are some varieties, depending on where you live, that can handle a little bit more sun or full sun. I love the flower spikes of Astilbe, how they just kind of add just little poofs or little, I don't even know, I imagine like a little flame going up. Just little spurts of color that helps really break up a shady space, such as this Hosta garden here. So you mix your Astilbes in to add a little bit of the purples or reds or whatever color your Astilbes are. Now, not only are Astilbes a great pollinator plant for shade, Hostas are as well. And the thing I like about Hostas is there's so many different variations. You've got your blues, you've got your greens, your chartreuses, your whites, your yellows. There's so many different color variation to the leaves, as well as the size of the plant, the size of the leaves. A lot of the leaves are skinny and kind of more ruffly. There's so many choices when it comes to Hostas. But it's not about the leaves when we're talking about, them attracting the pollinators. It's the flowers on the Hostas that attract those pollinators. So they've got those long tubular blooms, and anytime you're seeing those tubular blooms, usually that's a good indicator that it's probably going to be a plant that a hummingbird or a bee or something of that nature would love to visit. And with Hosta blooms, there's not just one color. So here, we got this very light purple, almost white color. But as we look around throughout this bed, there's a lot of shades of flower color going on. Here we have more of a medium type purple. And the one here right behind me has a very near, really dark purple. It hasn't opened up yet, but you can see just how dark it is. So there's a lot of variation of flower and foliage interest that you can get in and with hostas for a pollinator garden. Mid-July is the time where we start seeing a lot of daylilies blooming here in West Michigan in our Zone 6A garden. But this is also the time of year where we start to see a lot of the tall phlox. Here we have the Glamour Girl tall phlox, and this one has been bred for its excellent disease resistance. So usually this is one you're not going to find that powdery mildew on, which is often the problem with tall phlox. This is hardy in zones 4 to 8, and I love that just electric pink coloration of this plant. Tall phlox get usually around 2 to 3 foot taller, so depending on the variety. They're a great plant for the pollinators, and a lot of varieties are also native. Just look at that gorgeous splash of color that is adding into this garden with that electric pink, and then even in the background there, that's another purple tall phlox, and that's just such a great contrast to color. Also, too, you're seeing some of that yellow-orange in the background, and that's an Alstroemeria. That's a very long, blooming perennial in the garden bed. And as I just stand here and look at this space in the garden, this is just such a pleasing blend of colors to this space. Here's another spot in the garden that's featuring the LUMINARY Opalescence Phlox, another tall phlox if you're looking to add more of the pink shades into the garden. And they have it paired with a daisy. This is the daisy May Leucanthemum. And in the background there, you're seeing some more of that Kniphofia. So if you're also wondering, how do I pair all of these pollinators together? This is just a few different areas in the garden that we've walked through to kind of show you what you could pair with it. I think another thing that looks really cool in here in the background there is the hardy hibiscus. It's not blooming right yet, but with that deep dark foliage, that just kind of is another thing to show you like, hey, you've got great flower color, pair it with great foliage, and get this look in the garden. We know a lot of you love allium in your garden because it is such a great pollinator attractor. This is Allium Bobblehead, a new introduction from Proven Winners, and it features these large 3.5-inch blooms. I love how it's so whimsy in the garden. It's a little bit earlier to bloom than Millennium or Serendipity and has this great lighter color palette. Part of the Eye Catcher series is the Coral Craze Echinacea, which features corally pink blooms. These blooms are 5 inches across and have these gorgeous orange cones in the center. Not only are they great for pollinators, I love in the fall when the seeds remain, watching all those yellow finches as they're picking out the seeds and enjoying them in my fall garden. Kniphofia, an excellent upright thriller perennial, hardy in zones 5 to 9, depending on the variety, create a beautiful clumping type habit. And depending on the variety, again, you're looking at, they can get anywhere from 24 to 36 or so inches wide. You can see how they have them staggered throughout this garden, and it adds a very vibrant pop of color. Kniphofia are available in yellows, light yellows, bicolors. We'll pop a few pictures up on the screen to show you some of the various flower forms here. The thing I like about them is for the summertime pollinators, or especially the hummingbirds, with their long tubular flowers, that's the perfect little thing that those hummingbirds like to stick their beaks into to feed off throughout the summer months. Heliopsis Tuscan Sun is a fantastic midsummer bloomer that attracts the butterflies and the pollinator bees to the garden. It's hardy in zones 3 to 9 and gets about 36 inches tall or so. It features these gorgeous yellow daisy-like flowers. Now this particular variety has just a single row of petals. Some of the other Heliopsis on the market you'll find are semi-double or fully double for just a different flower form look. And I love that golden yellow color in the garden. It's so versatile. It goes with just about any other flower color you may have. So if you're looking for something that adds that bright sunshine look to the garden, the Heliopsis Tuscan Sun is a fantastic daisy looking flower. I hope you enjoyed today's video as we took a tour looking for July pollinator perennials. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And if you're new to our channel, we welcome you to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.